You guys good? Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting of the Hancock County Board of Commissioners to order. Today's date is April 7th of 2026, and the time is now 8:02. This meeting is being recorded and streamed for public viewing. By participating, you acknowledge that your image, voice, and comments may be captured and made publicly available. This meeting has been properly noticed in accordance with Indiana Code 5-14-1.5. Let the record show that a quorum of commissioners are present. The commissioners are open for business. We will now proceed with the agenda. At this time, I will invite all in attendance to stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Could I get a motion to approve the minutes?
March 31st?
Yep.
I make a motion we approve the March 31st meeting minutes for the Board of Commissioners.
Second.
We have a motion second to approve the minutes for 3/31/2026. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now, could we get a motion to recess?
Motion to recess.
Second.
We have first and second for recess. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So be it.
Call the April 7th Hancock Drainage meeting to order. We start by, do I have a motion to approve the March Drainage Board meeting minutes?
I move that we approve the March Drainage Board minutes.
Second?
All those in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Are we ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so let's go to number 3 first. So we have a variance to daylight and to run to a dry well, and this is Barrett Minor Sub. This is on 600 South, just east of Carroll Road. And here's the location that's here. As you can tell on the map, a lot of houses around there. This ground has been subdivided and re-subdivided and re-subdivided. This area in the back here is a very wet area. There's a bridge here in the front, in the middle of the property. And so what they are looking to do is to run dry wells. Lot 2 in the middle there is already an existing residence. They're looking to add lots 1 and 3 on the side. And next to the house here on lot 1, the hill is about right here on the downside, putting a dry well there. And then in lot 3, up here closer to the road, but outside the right of way, putting a dry well there for lot 3. So we've looked at the area. There's really not a good place to run tile or perimeter anywhere there. There are some private tiles in the back which are actually overloaded. We've talked to landowners back there as well, and they would not like the tiles to be tied in that way, which we completely understand and agree with. And so this is the best option for them to run to septics, and if they have a perimeter drain for their septics, and then also for if they have a sub pump or anything like that to tie into. I know.
So we're going to run a perimeter drain and drain it to right into a dry well right next to it.
Right. They're just doing a dry well right here on their property so that they have a place.
How are we not going to have, are they not going to have problems down the road with that?
Well, it's keeping their water on themselves. It's keeping it away from their septic is what the perimeter drain is intended to do. So all that's doing is it's going down the hill and putting the water in a different spot on their property.
Kick the can down the road.
Well, for them, it's keeping their water on themselves and not pushing it on somebody else because they really don't have anywhere else to take it.
Are we sure that it won't push off onto anyone else?
No, it goes underground. So a dry well is really a hole you dig in the ground that you put gravel in. Mm-hmm. And so it's really almost like an underground pond. It's just on their property.
Well, how deep is it?
I think 6 feet,
6 feet wide.
6 feet down, 6 feet wide.
And it's going to be open or?
No, then you put, it's filled with gravel, okay? And a pipe runs into it, and then at the top you put sod, grass back on top of it. And so, yeah, and so it disperses through the ground through time for where it's at, so.
And they shouldn't get enough water that would cause the surface.
Correct, I mean,
from
you're
heavy
just talking about a
rain
perimeter
to-
drain off of your septic, and,
Until you get a 3-inch rain.
Until you
and
get
it
a
fills
3-inch
the
rain.
dry well full of water.
That's
Then it overflows.
But it's on their property,
it's
so
on their
that's on
property.
them.
And in this
Floods their septic
situation,
field.
the ground does drain away
right.
from that dry well down here towards the
It's a
road.
done deal.
On both situations, so it does have some leeway to get away.
Is there a fee for this?
Yes, so it's a variance from the 8-inch pipe, so it's $250 per lot. Because we want them to tie into an 8-inch tile.
I know.
If they can.
I know, they got
But-
no choice, but
I know,
they're just gonna have trouble down the road. It's not our problem,
right.
so. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the perimeter drain and dry well for both the properties,
I want lot 3.
Lot 1 and Lot 3, of the Barrett Randall minor, or Barrett minor sub as presented,
$250.
with a $250 cost per each lot.
Second.
All those in favor of approving the variance for a dry well, approve by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Let's go to code number 6 on your, so last month, Lloyd Waller was in. This is subdivision, my new minor subdivision coming in off of State Road 9 and 550 North. So we are just south of 600, and they are going to subdivide this piece of ground right here. There is a regulated drain that runs on the west side of their property. Last time we agreed to reduce that easement because it is an 8-inch tile or a 10-inch tile that runs down through here. They were going to originally run a 8-inch tile along the north line to tie in lots 2 and 3 into that tile. After doing more investigation, they found that there actually is a 6-inch tile that is running currently through there, servicing the house to the single house that is here. So there was a 6-inch that was ran to this, originally to the Thomas Barrett arm there of that ditch. And they are requesting to be able to use that 6-inch on those 2 lots. Lot 1 has access to the main tile, so it will not access that 6-inch in the north, but they are looking to have access to that. And that would just be, as usual, the perimeter tile for their septics and any sump pump or anything that may have to go in for a crawl spacer for that to tie into that 6-inch.
The landowner to the east, is he the one subdividing?
Yes,
So he's the one that's gonna have to live with it when his tile starts backing up
yes,
to do this variance?
yes.
I think it's a mistake, but.
I
Pardon?
agree from that standpoint. That is the Lawlers that own that, correct? Yeah. The Lawlers that own that on the south side of 550. Lawlers live in this house here, if you see on your screen. South side's at the end of 550. It dead ends there. They own this property here. They also own this, and this is the one they're subdividing. 2 lots on the end. And just for reference, and when we have a new subdivision and tie a septic and perimeter drain for a septic and a house sump pump, allow them to tie into it. We typically allow up to 8 houses on an 8-inch tile when you do subdivision. So this is 3 houses on a 6-inch. So it's comparable from that standpoint in capacity.
Are you saying lot 1 to the west is tying into the 6-inch, or are they going straight?
They're going straight to the regulated drain.
So they'll just have 2 on the 6-inch?
Well, and then the original house that's there. So they'll have the 3, because the original house is on it.
We're adding 3 lots.
We're adding 3 lots, but only 2 of
Gotcha.
those lots are going to be on it. Correct. Yes. So there'll be a total of 3 lots that'll be on that 6-inch tile.
So 2 lots, so times 2 on 250.
Yep. Yep.
So you want a motion to approve of this for, I'll make a motion, we approve the variance to use a 6-inch tile all our property at 550 Northeast of State Road 9 as presented by the surveyor,
And 250.
Per lot.
and a $250 fee per lot.
Second.
All those in favor of approving the variance to use a 6-inch tile on the Lawler property signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
So let's go to number 5 on our list. You'll notice there is a theme today.
Yeah.
So, number 5 is Severs. This is off of Steinmeier Road. And, go. We are off Steinmeier Road, which is down near New Pal, just east of 800 West. Doe Creek runs back behind these properties. Seaver Minor Sub, as you can see, is the area in gold here on the map that we have that is there. They have found or there is a 6-inch tile that is in the field here, just to the east of them, that runs to a 20-inch tile that runs to the creek. So instead of having to put in a new tile or an 8-inch tile to run to that 20-inch tile, they would like to just be able to tie into that 6-inch tile. It's already there. It's 30 feet off the property line. Part of them doing this, they have to also get an easement from the landowner there, which is, they have that in agreement, tie into that. But they're looking for a variance to tie into that 6-inch for a single house.
Do we know what the Severes are doing with that property?
What's that?
Do we know what the Severes are doing with that property?
What they're doing with that property? They're building a house.
Are they?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's a single house. So it's a minor sub, single house. Yeah.
I have no problem.
Make a motion to approve the connection to the 6-inch tile for the Severs, with the 250 connection fee and the county hold harmless.
Second.
All those in favor of approving the 6-inch variance for Dave Severe, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
It doesn't need to be included in your motion, but from what you said, they don't own the larger field around it. Find that if they don't obtain that easement and record it,
They're gonna have to do
Then I'll make another motion. If they do not have the variance, they cannot do it.
Do we need
gotta
to?
have the recorded easement to be able to get.
Right. Yeah, and so, yeah, we won't let them build a house there unless they have
Prove
that.
that too.
Yeah, unless we have that easement. They won't be able to go through our office. Yeah.
They have to have an easement to tie into a
When
neighbor's
it's not on
tile?
not on their property.
They don't own that.
They don't own the bigger piece around them.
My understanding was that tile's not on that little piece.
Correct, it's not.
Right,
So they have to have a legal access to that tile, which is a recorded easement.
Correct.
gotcha.
Yep.
I know you farmers like your handshake.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Tell you what, let's do claims, before we jump into the last two. They're gonna take a little bit longer for what we have, lead into our last. So we have claims there, so this was a longer payment cycle, so we only had one, in that payment cycle.
There was one more, but there was nothing.
Right. There was nothing for drainage claims for the one, and then there was a longer wait, just the way the calendar ran. So here's the ones, and most of these were, open ditches, dredgings that we did. Only one contractor still working on dredging, and that is, Jimmy Moline there in Fordsville there, just across from the cemetery. We're doing that little strip north of the park. Everybody else, I think, is done now for this year. Those are the claims for 3/18.
Make a motion to approve claims for 3/18/2026 in the amount of $12,837.44.
Second.
All those in favor of approving claims paid as presented signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, so the next two are going to kind of lead into a conversation we will have about fees. So these will kind of prime you a little bit as we get into things and talk about things. But first one, this is a house in Fortville. So in a bigger map of Fortville, this is Madison Street, State Road 13. Which is north of 67, Ohio Street, north of the railroad tracks, runs back through there. Right here's the Stottlemyre drain that runs in their backyard. As you can notice, if you look at the bigger map, Stottlemyre still has a 75-foot easement on it. Okay, and so if you just do simple math on any of these, right, almost every house that is here, well within, right, that 75-foot drainage easement. It's part of the law that when they originally did drainage code and then the town was already there, it kind of encompassed those, and it never, it was never reduced, never anything from that standpoint. So what ends up happening is you have a lot of people that have homes and things that are through there, but obviously they have homes, they have barns, they have garages, they have different things that are all through the main thing that is there. Conditionally here in the last 15, 20 years, Fortville has actually maintained a lot of mowing the banks and doing different things in Stottlemyre, just because it's in the town and they've just done it. It's been a part of what their parks department is. Now, if there's a bigger thing that's going on, we'll take care of it for them from that, which do it all from where it's at. All of that to say this. There are a person here at 405 East Ohio Street, the Moores. They would like to put a barn. See, they already have a building here. They would like to put another shed back here in the back of their property for where it's at. And you go from the map here. They're going to be just about the same distance. They're looking to be about 25 feet off of the ditch. But one just about where this garden is on this side. And so they're coming before the board to do to get an encroachment into the regulated drain. Up there. So here's the ditch barn they want to put in. So it's 25 feet from the ditch and 56 feet from the road, right? So it's where it's at. So as I look at it as an advisory point to this board, sometimes there are situations that we have where, Is it right to allow them to put that there on their property for where there be, when there's already a number of things that are already there? You have some room to get in there and do work if we need to do work, from that standpoint. It makes it very difficult for where it's at. So
I think this is a perfect point of why these new subdivisions, why we don't decrease.
I
Let
agree.
encroachments happen because we are causing an issue down the road.
I agree.
So this issue's already been created, so there's no way to fix it.
Correct. And so that's, other than going all the way through and reducing that easement, right, through there to get people out, and I don't believe that's what the board would want to do either, right, in an older subdivision, just because of different things that you need to do. It's just, it's an animal we have to deal with.
Yep.
The issue then runs into, as we look at, and we'll have this discussion here in a little bit, of the fees that we do to do things, right? So you have an existing thing that's here. Well, to encroach in the easement, right now our fee schedule is, to encroach in it, it's $25 a foot, okay? And so they're only gonna be 25 feet from the top of the bank. So that's a 50-foot encroachment. So that's $1,200 for them just to put a barn that's probably not gonna cost $1,200 in that location. And so as we get to the conversation about fees a little bit down the road, what are the fees there for, and why and when is it applicable to allow those to be there? They're gonna put a little shed here in the backyard, and it's gonna cost them just about as much for the encroachment into there as it is, and they're gonna have to sign a hold harmless anyways. And so
So have you built a barn lately?
this is a fabbed one that they're just buying and bringing in. Right, this isn't a barn.
But it's gonna cost you more than $1,200. Because I can tell you, I've got one and it cost me almost $4,000 after I got done with it.
Okay, but still, I mean, the cost of that, of the fee to just encroach, you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to the fee to build.
What is the use of the fee? Is that to deter people from encroaching?
And so that's the question. And so,
So if you're coming before this board asking to encroach, we have a fee to deter from it, but you still want to do it, so why would we change it?
correct. And I'm just, I guess from my standpoint, and just thinking through it and allowing the board to have that discussion is, what is the purpose of that fee, right? Is it to deter them, or is it from a standpoint of time and material and everything that we may have to incur if we have to get into there and get around that building, right? Or is it something to just completely deter people from doing it? But
That was a question.
yeah, I mean,
Is
that's
it fee for deterring people?
I don't know. I don't know exactly what that fee, I think sometimes it is for that. And here's the point, it's a minimum of $250, and sometimes I can understand it if you're in a subdivision, right, and it's a 30-foot easement or a 40-foot easement, and you want to get 10 feet in or 12 feet in. Now you're getting really tight for where you're at, right? When you're talking about a 75-foot easement, that first 50 feet that first 50 feet is their house. We're never going to get there anyways from that standpoint. And so I don't know. I mean, that's why I'm bringing it to the board from that standpoint. And so, it's a twofold thing from this standpoint. There's the approving of the shed, of whether they can encroach into there. And then the question is the fee that is there, the board has the right to impose or to waive the fee. But as we have the discussion here in a little bit, is that fee applicable, or should it be applicable, especially in these older subdivisions? What is the proper deterrent, right, for wanting them to do something in that standpoint?
I don't like that word deterrent.
Okay.
And I'll have to go look, and we've talked about that too.
Sure.
We're trying to look at the resolution that the county commissioners used to establish these fees. Because there's some question about if this barn's 20 foot long, just because they're 50 feet where they're gonna build it, should that entire 50 feet be included in the calculation of 25 times 50? Or if it's a 20 foot long barn, then that's the actual encroachment. And the idea is the fee is paid because we can't access where that 20-foot barn is. So I don't like the word deterrent, so.
Sorry.
That's not the rationale. And if you actually go back and look at it, if they were gonna file for a reduction in easement, that fee's huge.
$2,500.
I mean, so that's even larger numbers. So, the idea is that if you're gonna reduce the easement, you should have to have some skin in the game because that blocks our ability to go in and that is certainly at your discretion. It has to be a reasonable fee. And I, just talking to Chad briefly, I think that the last time this was reviewed was early 2000s.
Yes.
So it's probably time to pull that resolution and look at.
Did you say the county council set these fees?
No, county commissioners, I believe.
Commissioners.
It has to go through the commissioners. It was set by the board.
We don't have a say in it then?
Yeah.
So, we do, it's similar to the planning commission making a
Recommendation.
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 To the commissioners.
That's you three.
Yeah. Now,
Okay. Are they? Oh, there you go. Mrs. Morse here.
okay,
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
I just, I have just a few things that I don't know if it's pertinent or not, but.
You just need
Before
to get
you,
your name,
please.
just give your name and your address, and you'll be fine. There's some mics
Okay.
right there.
Hi, I'm Melissa Moore, 405 East Ohio Street, Fortville. I guess I have a couple of questions here because, we've been owners of the home for 30 years, and in that 30 years, there's been a lot of erosion of that ditch. So it's kind of, backing our property up a little bit. I didn't know if there was any kind of I mean, as far as it goes, the town coming through and cleaning out and maintaining the ditch, they do to a certain extent, but kind of along where we're at, there's usually not much action there. They usually focus on the park down the street to keep that clean, and then, of course, there's some other areas. So we've never really had number one, a problem with anybody having to get back there, and especially considering the barn that we have existing is quite close to the ditch itself. And it was there when we bought the property. But also, as I know it is a floodplain because of it being on a drainage ditch. But in the 33 years we've lived there, again, there has not been any flooding in that area of our yard. That's why where our garden was located. But yeah, any kind of like a grandfather clause or something in there. And my question is because of these fees, we're really reconsidering the whole thing because it's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of money, $1,250, and if it's more, it's going to be more than that with the permits and what other fees get snuck in there. But as far as the existing barn that we have, if we were to fix it up and add on to that, is that still encroaching? If we're going the opposite direction, we're not going towards the ditch. We're trying to find, something that's, affordable to do. I mean, we've got about maybe 7 to 10 more years before we're retiring, and we don't know what exactly we're going to do yet, and as far as that goes. So, we're not trying to, put a lot of money into it per se, but we do want to improve it. Of course, and I do think that a new barn would be an improvement, but with the $25 a foot encroachment fee,
so are you planning on removing the one building or?
Yes, our plan was to remove the other one, and
This barn is going to be sideways in the backyard, 20 foot?
Yes, it's 12 foot deep and 20 foot long, and we could, in fact, put it where that barn is, but I feel like it's up a little bit further and in a better spot because I know that the lot next to us, which we do not own, it does hold water. It holds a lot. I've seen that come up to almost my knees before. And that barn's closer to that. So we were kind of trying to move it away. we're trying to be respectful of like the, I think it's the sewer lines, because I know that there are some sewer lines that run through our backyard, and we're pretty certain as to where they're at because there have been issues throughout the year. So we're trying to be respectful of that, but yet try to come up a little bit from the ditch. We're just trying to make an improvement here.
Speaking for myself, the conversation here is not particularly about your property.
Yeah.
It's about the problems that have been created in the past.
Right, I understand.
We can deal with them individually. Like, I don't have a problem with letting you encroach.
Mm-hmm.
We can discuss the fee, but the problem is what we're building now is getting too close. None of those buildings should have been put that close, but they've been there
Well,
50, 60,
they've-
70 years.
Yeah, and I
So
can
that's what the main discussion is, try to prevent this in the future.
Yes, and I can guarantee in that amount of time that ditch has widened considerably. So, I know that about 4 doors down that lady, I'm worried about like her house. It looks like it could very much she could step out her back door right into it. So, I don't know. But anyway, I think that's really kind of my questions, kind of like, sort of grandfathered in on that and, assessing the fees and then we need to weigh, of course, once that's assessed as to financially how we want to go about this. I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So what do you want to do? Reduce the fees for this
So,
particular?
well, we can walk through, it's a two-step process right now, right? One is they're requesting to encroach in the regulated drain easement within 25 feet of the top of the bank, I guess is the best way to say that from our standpoint. So they're encroaching in the easement 50 feet. So that would be the first motion of whether you want to grant that approval for that building to be in that location. Then the second conversation then is amongst yourselves of what you want to do with the fee from that standpoint. Do you want to keep it still at the $25 per foot for where you're at? I imagine, are they allowed to reduce that, or or since it's a set fee schedule, it's either a waive or I don't know. I guess that's my other question that's involved in there.
I would think you would want to leave the fee intact, but you could actually individually, since they did not
I'm
create the
talking about this
issue.
one particular. So I'm
Yeah.
not talking about overall.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about this one in particular.
I would-
So
I
if you
would
go
be
to make
open
this
for
motion,
that.
then that is, whether they can reduce it or whether they just have to waive it. So I don't know.
My opinion on it, just briefly, from what I've heard this morning, I don't want to use the word precedent because each project is on its own merits.
Right.
But we have some history where there have been utility crossings.
Yes.
Where this board has reduced or modified fees for certain applicants. So in this situation, with the history here, you have an equitable power that fee as you so choose. That does not impact the set fee. You've had an applicant come, present to you, that would be at your discretion on the fee.
And that's
Similar
an
to-
individual
Per
decision
individual
for this property.
Everyone is on its own merits, if you believe that.
But if they're building a new subdivision somewhere, we're going to hold them to the 75-foot or,
You can hold that however, yeah, each
Okay.
each on its
After
own,
you
each on
evaluate
its
that
own
one on
thing.
its merits, absolutely right.
Each on its
Yeah.
own merit, correct.
I think that's why we set those standards.
Absolutely.
My concern is whether the building's worth $5 or, $500,000, we're gonna do something that, it's gonna continue to open a box where people come here, and no disrespect to you, miss, just that it's in place for that reason. It's not to try to deter anything, it's to try to make sure that we don't get buildings too close to this area. So if equipment is needed to get in there and do things, we can do it. And then if we find out, holy moly, there's a ton of other stuff in here, that we've paid into this enough to repair that. And I appreciate that, the fact that things are old. I live in a place that's over 50 years old, but I think to change the standard is, it
That's-
wouldn't, my opinion's not good to go away from the standard. I mean, I look at the other two homes and I feel for them that they're not a part of this, but you look at that whole little ditch area,
Yeah.
and they may be in the ditch here in a few years.
I do not disagree. Yeah, water will move ground, so.
But if that's the case, why am I going to approve something where someone's property will be in that ditch somewhere on down the line?
And it has been I want to say the precedent, and this is just for information, has been the preference, Mrs. Moore asked, it has been the precedent of our office, from my predecessors that are there, if somebody is adding onto a structure and not getting closer to the ditch on an existing structure, we usually don't bring it before the board because we look at that encroachment as something that is adding into closer to the ditch. So like if she was using this existing structure that is here and building back towards her house, we wouldn't see that as a more of an encroachment because that building is already in existence at that spot and the closest point to the ditch is already there. Does that make sense? Whether
So
that
if
is
she
the
just
right
adds on to that other shed, we don't need to know about it, is what you're saying?
if they don't make it any closer to what is already there, that is how we have always looked at it in our office. Because they're not including any more of an encroachment. That building, we are still, that building is already inside that easement and they're not getting any closer to it. So it's not creating any more of an obstruction from that standpoint.
So their north wall needs to be in line with the little north wall and that little building, and then they're not encroaching, is what you're saying.
Well, we're saying, we have always said if they are adding on to the building that is already there. If they're putting a new building in, we have always then still brought it because it's a new structure in there. But if it's a connected structure, we have always said, if you're not going any closer, you're not creating anything closer to the ditch that's already existing, and that's how we've handled it. Now, if the board wants our office to do that in a different way, we're more than welcome and obliged, and not only that, we are, mandated to do it how the board would see fit. But that has always been the practice in our office, as we have seen it. So that's just an informational thing from that standpoint. And I know she had came up and talked about whether adding on to that building or not adding on to that building. And so that's just how we have always looked at it from that standpoint. But I think these are good conversations.
Okay, here's the other question. Okay, you're saying this is a bulk building, they're gonna come in and put it on there, or they're building?
Yeah, yes. No, the plan was to, we were going to tear down the old structure. They were actually placed, yes,
Okay, so you've got a movable storage building.
Yes.
They're going to put it on a concrete slab and then.
Yes.
So
That's
if
a
you
portable
guys had to
building.
get in there,
That's a portable building.
yes, that's a portable.
So read the drainage code here. So the drainage code language is different than our building,
Correct.
as far as a building permit. The owners of land over which the right-of-way runs may use the land in any manner consistent with this chapter. Permanent structures may not be placed on or in the right-of-way without the written consent of the board. Temporary structures may be placed upon or over the right-of-way without the written consent of the board, but shall be removed immediately by the owner when so ordered by this board or by the county surveyor. So you say it's a,
They're putting it.
It's a portable barn,
Well,
so
they're putting it on a concrete. Are they anchoring it to the concrete?
We are, I'm not real 100%. I know that I had sent over a drawing. I cannot remember what it was called that we were using. I mean, it probably yes to the concrete, or to the.
So it's permanent.
But we were using, what are they? I don't know. They're like, they're removable. Yes, basically. I can't remember the name of them. I'm sorry. I'm not.
I think they're the metal things that you put into the concrete and then you close,
Okay, no,
and then you can take them off and move them, but you still have.
But
to
you
be able
still
to
have the
move.
concrete.
It's still, it's into the concrete, correct. You're bolting it to the concrete. You can take the bolts off. You're not putting it in posts that are in concrete. Okay? You understand the difference?
Yeah.
Okay? But it doesn't mean that it's easy to move, right, for where it's
True.
at, from that standpoint. So that's, but yes, so that's whether that, I guess the question then is whether it is a temporary structure or a permanent structure. Not sure how that is defined. That's definitely one above my pay grade when it comes to a law question. what's considered permanent and what's
To
considered.
me, even if it's anchored to the concrete, if you can remove the anchors and pull it with something out of the way, it's portable.
If
Yes,
it's
the
movable,
concrete-
it's portable.
The concrete, yes, is permanent, but we can drive over concrete if we had to move the barn. So in my opinion, it's a portable building. We can get equipment in there if we had to. And that's the goal, right?
And if that's your determination as a board, ma'am, with the understanding that if this board says we need to get in there, you need to move that building, they have the authority to order that building removed at any time. Is that clear? I mean, if you determine it's temporary, I mean, that's
So
what you
should they
determine.
sign a hold harmless at that point?
Yes.
Of course, yes.
Absolutely.
So when we approve it in our office, have them sign a hold harmless?
And I would think that hold harmless needs to be modified just a little bit with the idea that pursuant to Drainage Code 36-9-27-33, the board has determined this is a temporary structure with the understanding that if we need to get in there, we can order it removed.
I don't, I mean, that's,
That's just,
Yeah,
that's just the
absolutely. I
legal
mean,
part of it. I mean, it's still
I-
up to you. That's your discretion.
And since there's already a building there, might not be as big, but it's there, and she's actually wanting to move it to the other side of the
right.
lot, aren't you? So,
But if it's temporary, they don't need to worry about
They would not need your,
No.
they would,
We don't
they would
need your
just have to have the
consent. Don't need your
information and
consent at all.
knowledge that at
Right.
any point, if we need to get in there, it's still within the easement.
Right.
And it can be
Right.
removed.
She attests to the fact that it's a movable building. The commissioners day comes that it needs to be moved.
so we don't need to make the decision here.
No, that's fine.
You'll make that decision.
I can have her sign that hold harmless.
And we don't have to change any of our regulations or
No.
fees or anything like that.
No.
Okay.
Can withdraw her
Yes.
request for encroachment.
Okay. You're welcome.
That still won't relieve you from any other permitting requirements that you need to go
Doesn't really
through.
make any other purpose.
That's government at work right there.
From the government, and I'm here to help.
Would have to move the structure, and that would be on us. I mean, we know.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind, come saying that into the microphone, so we got that on the, no, I'm serious.
I'm serious, yeah.
I'm
come on.
serious.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
And again,
that's fine.
you've already stated your name, just, yeah.
Melissa Moore, 405 East Ohio Street, Fortville. Yes, we are aware this is a temporary structure and the tie downs are going to be removable. And if you were to have to get some equipment back there to do any kind of work, we are well aware that we would have to take responsibility for moving the structure.
And holding county harmless.
And what?
Holding the county harmless.
And
Pursuant
holding the
to-
county harmless.
Yes.
Okay, yes, sir.
All right.
Gotcha.
I'm good with that.
I'm good with it.
Okay, so that means no
We'll move it
encroach.
along. Yeah, we'll
No.
contact you after this is over and we'll move through.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, thank you.
ma'am.
Y'all have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, so let's go. So this is Heron Creek. We're across the street from, this is number, I think, 8 on your sheet. This is Heron Creek, 200 North. This is across the street from Gateway. So this is a unique situation. And so wanted to bring this up to the board and kind of go from there. It's something that is interesting. And so this is lot 93, which when you come in off of 200 North, it is the first platted lot here on the side of the pond that is here. There is, this line is not correct on GIS. This line actually runs straight here. You can see the structure right here. It runs on this side of this, the north side of this property. It is a 30-inch tile, okay, that runs through there. It's the main one that takes a lot of the water from around here into the pond that is there. So there's a 30-foot easement on this side, and they're looking to put a house in this place here on it. They brought a building plan in, and the building plan, as you have in your packet, they are putting that house directly on that drainage easement. Okay, and so part of the conversation to begin with was, I've been in the building industry to build a house and a foundation without encroaching in the easement and building your footers is really interesting to see if you can do that without disturbing that side of that easement,
But
right?
this is a brand-new home.
Brand new
And
home.
a brand-new subdivision.
Brand new
So
subdivision.
they knew that drain was there before they ever
That
asked.
easement was there, correct. And there's the model of the house. They are 6 feet from the property line on the other side.
I
okay?
think we just had this about
We just,
3
we're
months ago.
just getting ready to recreate it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
here's, now, on the easement, can you build that house directly on that easement? That's a question for whether you can or not, but, technically they can build up to that line. The problem that we have is this is a 30-inch pipe in here. So if we ever have to fix that, we need a big excavator, okay? And if you understand when you build a house, here is your base of your house, here's your overhang. Your overhang is over in the easement. So even though technically the base of your house is outside the easement, the top of your house is not out of the easement. Okay? And so when you have an
Can you go
excavator.
back one?
So here's the house.
Yep,
And the easement line is right here. It is right on the line of that house.
gotcha, okay.
Okay? And so this would be the overhang over here. So technically, the overhang is about 12 inches, 12 to 14 inches over that line.
Why can't they move the house 12
Well, the
inches the
problem
other
is,
way?
from building and planning, there is a minimum of so far there have to be from the property line on the other side for the house. Right? So this house is designed exactly for the size footprint of what's there. The issue that we run into is if I put an excavator in here and I have to swing around, I have part of that house which is in the easement. Okay, for what's there.
Maybe they need to build a smaller house.
Yes.
I'm relaying the information to the board. So the conversation, and just in full clarity, they are working at this from two sides. So they are coming to the board asking if they could have a 1-foot encroachment to do that on that side, obviously, which would come with a hold harmless and what's there. So that's one side of what they're doing. That is not ultimately what they would like to happen. What they would like to happen is to go to the planning commission and get a variance to move the house a foot that way. So they're 5 feet from the property line instead of 6 feet from the property line on the other side, so that overhang and all the house is completely out of the easement. Okay, I'm just bringing the information to you. All right, so their request to the drainage board is to have a 1-foot encroachment within that easement for the drainage board with a $250 minimum. Because it's $25 per foot, $250 minimum, to encroach that in there. Am I happy with that, or do I think that is the right thing to do? No, I don't. But they asked me to bring that here to the board to see if they would do that for that encroachment, under the assumption that they also are going to go to the planning commission, would like to move the house for where it's at. Ultimately, they just don't want to redesign the house, but that's where that plays at. And so I don't know how often, we do not get very many houses that build directly on the easement line, right? I mean, maybe 2 I've had since I've been here that do that. And so that's where the conversation, even the conversation with the builder is, we never thought about the overhang. We never thought about the house that actually, and if this was this is an 8-inch tile that was running through there, I would worry less about it because I could get a mini excavator in there. It's not as big of a deal, right? But if I have to get a big excavator in there and now we're closer to that house, then now we're talking a lot more chance of a liability of just all kinds of different things, right?
I'd make a motion then that we do not approve the encroachment west
Second.
for Arbor Homes for Heron Creek Lot 93 as presented.
Second.
Been approved and seconded that we deny the encroachment for Arbor Homes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
That is perfectly fine. All right. So 2 more things I want to go over. First, So as you see, number 4 on your list, we have a discussion about drainage fees. So we have a resolution that we have here. This is from our office. Per the resolution that was done in 2009 through the commissioners, these were the things that were set by in relationship to drainage board. Okay, and that's really just regulated drain and utility work down to that point. Everything else on this page is things that we do through our office that aren't necessarily through the drainage board. And so I'd like to have just a short discussion about some of these and what they are and what we have seen in our office and from requests going forward, and whether the fees, first of all, are in line with what we want them to be there for, and 2, how they have not only been applied, but how they have been utilized by the people who have the land in relationship to the drainage board. So the first one, the reduction in regulated drain easement, currently is $2,500 per lot or parcel. Right. And so as we look at it from the surveyor's office, when this was first built in 2009, it was really right after the 2008, 2006, 7 boom that we had, and then kind of had a little bit of a recession for where we were. And so they kind of looked at it from this standpoint. The way that we have done this recently is a person owns the entire area that they have, and they want to do it. So a lot of times this happens originally when somebody comes in to build a subdivision, right? They're going to build a subdivision. They have 40, 60, 80, whatever acres they have, and the ditch runs through there, okay, through that property. And so they will look to reduce that 75-foot easement to 50 feet for what's there. And so we have charged them $2,500 for that, to do that. Now, that's $2,500 for, it could be 1,300 feet. That drain is on that piece of property, and you're reducing it 50 feet. And for all that 1,300 feet times the 50 feet, you're doing $2,500. If somebody has a regulated drain easement in their backyard in a minor subdivision or anywhere else, and it's a 40-foot easement and they're asking for it to reduce to 35 feet, they get charged the same amount of money for what they're doing. And so from the way you look at it in our office is, I don't think it's I guess to use a legal term there, an equitable way of looking at what we're trying to do with that. Because if we're reducing the regulated drain easement, I think part of that is a deterrent for what they want to do, but 2, are we able to get in and do the work that we need to do? Is it change equipment or whatever we need to do from that? So we would like to see that at $2,500 per platted lot. So if the lot's already platted, $2,500, or $25 per linear foot. So if you have, 1,000 feet that you're looking to do, and it's $25, so now it's $25,000 for you to. So is it worth it to you to do that in that development from that standpoint? And so that's what we came up from our office to looking at, is from a standpoint of ultimately we are trying to, I believe the board's look on this is to try to deter people from reducing the regulated drain easement, right? For not only for that, for us to do the work for things that we need to do in there. The $2,500 just per platted lot or parcel, to me, becomes manipulated by people who own large pieces of ground that are looking to develop that ground for where it's at, and it hinders those people who are, in single platted areas. And so I think in the single platted areas, if we still want that to be the deterrent, that's fine from that, but I don't think that $2,500 is enough for that deterrent of what we need to do from that standpoint. Any questions? I mean, that's the thought process that we came up with as we looked at that.
For this resolution, Chad, do you plan on adding something also to say, we want to look at this annually? I mean, some of these fees haven't been changed since 2006, and if there's a way to just take a look, I'm trying to keep up with cost.
Absolutely. We can do that, whether it's every year, every 2 years, however we want to do that, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we can add that into that resolution. I'm looking more along the lines right now of trying to set a framework of what we have, of what we want to do going forward, and then we can continue to look at them as we go through. It's just kind of looking at things now that are 17 years old. Do they reflect, and our county has changed in those last 17 years. I mean,
The economy has
immensely.
changed too, so.
Immensely. And so, there's as the drainage board, we want to be able to still get into and be able to maintain the drains that we have in a way that allows that drainage to continue to move. And so, at what point do we, where is that line that we're looking at? And so that would be the first recommendation on the change, would be that on that first one, instead of it being just $2,500 per lot or parcel, there would be $2,500 per platted lot or $25 per linear foot, and then whichever's greater of the two.
That sounds reasonable. I mean, it's costing more to run your office, it's costing more to send your work, everything.
Yeah, everything. I mean, absolutely.
And we're running a surveyor's office on $1,026 with 2009 income.
I do not disagree. So I guess I'm trying to get recommendations, so when we put the resolution together, to take to the commissioners, that I want to take it to the board here first, right? To see, because you guys will ultimately be the ones who give those fees to those people whenever you approve.
You mean those commissioners?
Yeah, those commissioners. But Eric, you're a big part of that, right?
Okay.
Because you have just about as much right.
I
being on the drainage
I would ask the question, does it make sense to do work for nothing?
I just want to see something that.
I understand.
That's where it comes down to, because if we're working off 2009 fees and knowing good and well how the economy has changed
To go
and
pull that resolution.
See, and
pull
this one,
meeting
the reduction in the regulated drain
commissioners
easement
at the time
is more
as to-
along the
so
lines
be
of
uninformed as to why they set them back then.
twofold.
But I
One,
agree.
the first part of it
Because
is
for a
more
while,
of a
you're gonna say,
deterrent,
well, why did
I guess,
my
from the
permit fee
standpoint.
go from
Yeah, no, you don't like
25
that
to
word.
150?
It is more
You're
of
gonna
a
have to
restriction
explain
upon the
that. But
land.
every
No,
year
you don't
they
want
know
that
we're
one either.
looking at that.
It is
They'll
more
understand
of
why
a
we're doing
maintenance, and we won't
it is
have the
more of
situation.
a position
again.
of the board being able to absolutely utilize the property.
At first glance, I agree
They
with
are
all
able-
of this.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay. And so on there is the ones there for, we kept the one for the regulated drain encroachment. We figured that was still pretty good for where it needed to be. It's pretty much in line with a lot of the surrounding counties for where we are. The variance to daylight, we bumped that up to 450. Because ultimately you don't want people to daylight or to use a smaller than 8-inch tile. I mean, that one, you want to make sure that people are doing that, and with the cost of everything that's going up, that where it's at. And then number 4 is one that we have talked about before. Instead of it being a removal of obstruction from mutual drain, it's the filing of a petition for a mutual drain obstruction
That might encourage people to have a discussion.
with their neighbors before
Yes.
they, absolutely. But $1,000, talked about that, so that we can, by statute, if they bring a mutual drain obstruction petition in, I am required to go and investigate that. And so that cost should be upon those people who are looking to do that, if they can't get along and figure it out on their own. And then utility work, regulated drain crossing permits, we think that should go up as well. Right now it's at $250. We think that should double for that, from that standpoint. Because there is a lot more that goes into that, and there is a lot of those people doing it. So just getting our crews out to verify what they're doing and where they're at, and they're doing it the right way, and where they're at, it takes some time and effort. And then the second one is just the regulated drain encroachment permit, which is really the same as the other, of how close they're putting their stuff to it. So don't worry about the pond one, that's us. We'll be doing that at a different time. So we will look at that resolution for what's there, but what I'd like to do is put these together and then maybe bring it to the next drainage board meeting, and then have you guys look at it from a total standpoint, and then we can take it to the next commissioners meeting after that. Are there any questions on those from that standpoint? Okay. All right, so, two more things that I'd like to, first of all, do you guys have any other business that you have from drainage board's standpoints? So our July 7th meeting, so the way the calendar runs this year, it creates a lot of different things in a lot of different places. So, the July 7th meeting that we have, Purdue has scheduled their stormwater conference at the same time. Traditionally, we are the first Tuesday of the month, which usually during that month is earlier in the month. So Purdue has their stormwater conference on the 8th, which is when our drainage board is that month. I actually have a surveyor conference on the 7th, and then the stormwater conference on the 8th. I would, and I know you'll have your commissioner meeting that day as well on the 8th. I would like to see people from the board, if they could go to that. But my question is, would it be possible to move the drainage board maybe the next week? If not, that's fine. So that way I could attend that stormwater conference, or if not, that's fine. I just wanted to put that out to the board.
I will not be here the 7th, so if you move it to the next week, I could be here.
Perfect.
I don't have a problem with it.
Or you move it to the next meeting date on.
Commissioners, yeah, we could do that.
You guys have 2 a month?
Sometimes three.
Sometimes 3.
We have 3.
Yeah, last month they had 3.
21st is good with me.
Okay.
So we're looking for the 21st instead of the 7th. That meeting?
And you will advertise that or what?
Yes, we will,
Okay.
yes. Yep, we will advertise that for what's there.
You said you had one more thing?
Next month, we are in May, so we don't have it on the schedule there, but the last thing is our May drainage board will be May 5th. So, just so everybody knows.
It's election day.
It's May 5th, that's right, so it's the 4th, I'm sorry. So it is moved to the,
Let's move to the 4th.
And that might already be
I did not know that.
advertised
It
at that
is.
point.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, it should be.
So it is the 4th. They do it on Monday. That was the thing I wanted to let you know. Sorry. Thank you, Janine. That's why I wanted to bring that up, because the 5th is, Tuesday was election day, is the day before it is on a Monday next week.
I was gonna say something. Yeah, I'm sure you remember that day.
Any other questions?
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
Properly moved and seconded, we adjourn the meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.
You need a break?
Yes.
Thank you all.
Okay. Thank you.
We're going to stay
Do you
in
have a
recess
minute
for a
for me
minute.
after?
Yes, we are.
Yep.
Morning,
And,
trustees.
if I
How's
can get a
everyone?
motion to approve the minutes from our October 7th, 2025 meeting.
I make a motion that we approve our minutes from the October 7th, 2025 meeting.
Second?
There's been a motion made on the floor and a second to approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Did you also include the March 31st special meeting?
Oh, okay, well, let's
we
do
did
that
not.
too. Can I get a motion to approve that?
Make,
So moved.
so moved.
Been moved and seconded. We approve the special meeting for March 31 as presented. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Do we need to do election of officers?
Well, the next thing on my agenda is my conflict of interest statement that
Okay.
I think it's in your packet, that I've submitted. I'm also the attorney for the Greenfield Central School Board. So we need to file this, and I will do so with the clerk's office and send it off to the state.
Okay, then a motion to accept Mr. Strahl's conflict of interest form.
Make a motion to accept Mr. Straugh's conflict of interest form.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We accept Dan Strahl's conflict of interest form as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Now's your time.
So we have election of officers,
Yes, we do.
correct? And what, it's just the president and the secretary? Or-
President, Secretary, yes.
Okay. Then I would
Well,
make,
excuse me, and the other two commissioners or trustees. which
Okay.
can be the other commissioners.
I would make a motion then, as the next president of the Water and Sewer District Board to be Commissioner Gary McDaniel.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve Gary McDaniel as the next president of the Water and Sewer District. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
So we're just trustees.
So
Okay.
then I turn that over to you.
Let's finish here. Okay. Okay. All right,
Mr. President?
so
I don't know, do we have your agenda? Do we have your agenda, Dan?
It should be in your packet.
Is it in our
Yeah,
packet?
it should be. Did your, Mr. Spalding, did your motion also include the appointment of you and Janine as trustees?
Yes.
Okay. Next thing on my agenda is the election of attorney for the Water and Sewer Board.
here we go.
Find it.
Yep.
So I'd make a motion, we approve, or recommend Dan Strahl to continue as our attorney for Hancock County Regional Water and Sewer District.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor to retain Mr. Dan Strahl as our attorney for the Water and Sewer District. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. Any new business?
I have none.
Okay. Any old business other than what we've done? So
No, sir.
I'd say I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
I have, just one other thing. We have, the next meeting would be on the 6th of October this year.
Okay.
Can the motion reflect that, for the president to add additionally the trustees of commission itself? Just to make sure.
All right. Motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
Second?
A motion to adjourn's on the floor. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you in October.
Yes.
That, get back up here. Okay. I call back to order the meeting of the commissioners. So Gary Poole.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I remind you that we need to think about Hancock County Senior Services.
Thank you.
Keep that on your mind, talking to the elected officials. Hopefully, Mr. Binky, hopefully you and Beth have come to an agreement on the interlocal agreement in McCordsville. Hopefully they're good to sign that on the 14th, I believe.
Yeah, I think she reached out to me and said that she was going to be presenting it to their board for approval.
Excellent. So hopefully that'll be good to go. I spoke with Ms. McCallop, and she went ahead and took our word for it that it'd probably go well. And I think they've added it to the STIP, but I'd hate for them to have to pull it off of the State Transportation Improvement Plan. So the money has been reloaded. So hopefully we can keep that 6.1 million loaded there for the town of McCordsville to get that roundabout done for them. So let me know if anything goes sideways on that. Good on that. I have two items for bids today. I have distributor trucks and a single axle truck. So Janine, if we could open those, read the bidder.
Gonna do the truck bid?
We could read them both and then we'll sort them out. But one's a truck and one is a distributor truck.
Got it.
Then pass those down to Scott and he and I will take
First bid is from Selking International and Ideal Lease, which is a Navistar company for the Hancock County Highway Department. New dump trucks bid. Time of delivery would be fourth quarter of 2026. Annual payment for all dump trucks less trade-ins, $163,158.96. And in words, $99,300.96. For chassis with trade-in, $63,852. For body, trade-in value, $4,000.
what I'll do is we'll analyze them and then I'll
Second bid is from JX Truck Center.
say that again.
JX Truck Center. Quote number DE 13493. This is a price per unit of $199,402.88, less the trade-in of 2007 International 7300 at $2,000, making the total price for this bid $197,647.88.
Here you go, Gary. Thank you.
Next one is also a dump truck bid from Stoops. This amount quoted by Stoops, based in Indianapolis, Indiana, is $180,911. $912, I'm sorry. $180,912. New dump truck bid from Stoops Freightliner, located in Indianapolis, Indiana. Annual payment for all dump trucks, $190,710. And this is a distributor truck bid. Again, from Stoops Freightliner. One distributor tank truck, unit price $343,860.
Say that again, sorry.
$343,860.
The highway will take those bids and figure out which one's the best, and then bring them back.
I'll let Scott look at those while I finish the meeting. And I'll look at the little bid on both of those.
Those two. They're-
The Indiana Trails grant was received, as I mentioned last meeting, so good job to Miriam and Ann on that.
Was that an 80/20? I didn't.
It is an
catch that.
80/20, it'll be run through the highway department, but I want the parks department to kind of be the lead on it, to kind of build some clout with them. Bridges on 3 South and 4 South are moving along. I hope to have those open within a couple months, depending on rain and things like that. We have a meeting with Lisa Lee about pilot programs. I also sent an email earlier this morning about school corporation met with Commissioner Gray, myself, Greg, and Dr. Parker met about some of the struggles that Mount Vernon is having. That email, a summary of that has been sent to you. Feel free to look at it. There would be lots of debate with the council and between the commissioners on that. And some of that will have to do with pilot as well.
And Ms. Gray has brought in a report from Mount Vernon also and distributed it.
Yep. Shirley Trail construction. So we're waiting on a paver to arrive, and then we'll probably get that paved. But I think they're just opening the asphalt plants right now. So I don't like to get the first batches asphalt anyway. Let them work out the gremlins before we get the first batches. But we'll get it paved this year. We're just waiting on when that's available. Excuse me. Allergies eating me up. Just FYI on State Road 67 at 400 West, they may be removing, they're still working on the design there, but they may be removing some left turns there. Keep that in mind. I do need a motion to surplus E222. It's the mulching head. It's our former Freecon head. It's one of the first pieces of equipment I bought here a long time ago. It's given up on us. It's died. We've bought a new one, and I need that surplus so we can recycle it.
I make a motion that we approve Gary Poole, Hancock County Engineer, to surplus E222 mulching head, serial number BH62EXC-2V.
Second.
We have a motion second on the floor to allow County Engineer Gary Poole to surplus an E222 mulching head, serial number BH62EXC-2V. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Surveying's underway at the 200 West interchange. There's obviously a large pile of debris in the way, so they're working with that. On the second page, the CCMG was curtailed this year due to a bunch of things. We have a certain amount of money programmed within the RDC for road maintenance and improvements within the RDC areas. That's pretty much Buck Creek, Mount Vernon, or Vernon Township areas. So we're going to transfer a bunch of our road repairs and stuff to the RDC to fill up that budget. And we're going to transfer that to do the neighborhoods is what I'm going to recommend. That seems to get more bang for your buck with the public. It's hard to do the neighborhoods because there's no deaths or anything in the neighborhoods. There's really no property damage accidents very much. So it's hard to spend money in there. If you look at it just rationally, logically, we should spend it all on main lines and stuff for the most effect. But people do like to walk.
Yeah.
And so we get a little bang for our buck that's outside of the typical public safety and how long it takes you to get somewhere. People do walk, and that does help build community. So I do believe there's a value there that it's hard to calculate in my own calculations. So I'm going to recommend that we try to capture some of that. And you don't have to make any motion or anything, but just so you know, we'll be paying a large portion of the Mount Vernon and Buck Creek roadway repairs and improvements, because a lot of that's because of the development out there, so it's appropriate to pay for that through the RDC. And the money we save out of MVH restricted, we will use to purchase the rest of this. And we're going to purchase it under the current contract we have. We already have a contract under, so we're just going to add on to that contract. We already have a unit price and everything. We've already competitively bid. And so that will be the case. I'm going to sit down for a moment and you can move on with your meeting. I'll look at the Cell King. It looks like right now, Cell King is low. Single axle and Stoops is the only bid on the distributor truck. Those are similar to the numbers we were expecting, so I'm okay with the numbers. I'll take a quick, looks like Scott's okay with the legal side of it. Actually, I could probably just take a motion. Let me look at it.
Yeah.
Let me look at it and I'll come back up. You'll see me pop back up when I'm about ready.
Okay, William Nelson. Oh, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. Cory Taylor, I'm sorry. Been moving around today.
Sit down.
Good morning and welcome back from your vacation.
Thank you, thank you. The only item I've got for you is a settlement agreement and release. This is on behalf of Indiana Foundation Services. This settlement agreement and release is made the effective day, April 2026, by and between JES Indiana LLC, DBA Groundworks, formerly Indiana Foundation Services Groundworks, and the Hancock County government as a customer.
Okay.
The settlement is settlement payment. Groundworks will pay the $63,351.54 to the customer upon full execution of this agreement. No other funds or monies will be paid to Groundworks. So this has been sent to you. It's been sent to Scott. I believe you sent an email.
Yeah, it's good, and that will wrap that up. They're
Okay.
gonna be making that payment directly,
have that?
so.
So they did send a check to,
They will not do so until
until they had.
Until they have
this
the
signed.
agreement.
That's typical.
agreement.
I make a motion that we approve the settlement agreement and release between JES Indiana, doing business as Groundworks, formerly Indiana Foundation Service in the Hancock County government.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor for approving the settlement agreement and release between JES Indiana LLC, doing business as Groundworks, formerly known as Indiana Foundation Services. Its settlement payment is in the amount of $63,351.54 as presented. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, motion carries.
Just so it's on the record, I was notified it would take 7 to 10 days to get payment out to the contractor on that.
Okay,
I will inform Service Master and let them know. Once we've received this, I'll forward it on and let them know that.
Oh, they agreed within a week or so to pay it once they have this.
Correct, yes, sir. 7 to 10 business days.
We want to make sure they don't stall out on that.
Sure,
Keep me, yeah, let me know. All right.
will do. Next item I've got for you is, you saw the emails about the window tint.
Yeah.
Marcia Moore had requested some window tint be put on. I kind of got brought into it later. With speaking to her and Mr. Etheridge, he wants to make it right. He did install what was quoted. His solution, without ripping what's currently on, off. He feels like the better option is to double layer that. So with double layering that, keep in mind that it's going to be more difficult to see out. But it sounds like what we were going for was privacy and security. So you have to weigh that option. I will tell you that I believe Deborah Carnes looked at the new IT director's office has been done, and it's double layer film. Derek Etheridge's solution was to double layer it, and there would be an additional cost with that.
An additional cost?
Correct.
But what about all the other windows? Are you going to put the correct one on that?
He would double layer those. So his plan is to proceed, get everything done, get the first layer on. If you determine that you want to do the second layer, there would be an additional cost. But it's the cheapest route to go as opposed to ripping the tin off, starting over, and getting different material.
But you said the double layer would make it harder for the employees to see out, to see potential people
I
coming in?
believe you, sorry. Andrea, thank you. I apologize, ma'am. She did say, I had spoke to her about it, asked her what she thought. She says it's very difficult to see out. So as long as the employees are okay with the function of safety, if worst case scenario, you had to be in an office and secure your office and be less visible.
So he can't make the tent,
One way?
I mean, it looked like he'd be able to adjust the tent on the film for all the other offices to be dark and.
I can ask him about that. He's made it sound like this was going to be the cheapest because.
The thing is,
Materials already
here's my example.
Yes, sir.
If all of a sudden we have somebody come in and our people can't see out that window, and all of a sudden a gunman, forbid, goes over and shuts the door and they think he's out and all of a sudden they open the door.
Sure.
So I think that safety-wise, if we could get that done without double layering it to where they can see out but they can't, the other guys can't see in, that,
That should be more of a one-way.
yes.
For safety may outweigh the cost. I mean, find out what it costs to take that off and do it right. I mean, my concern is
Okay.
for the county employees to
Yes.
be able to see any kind of
Danger.
I would
Coming.
agree with that.
into their office before it hits, if that were to happen.
Yes, sir. Okay. I will revisit that with him and let you know.
Okay.
Would you like for him to proceed or just hold off?
I would like for him to hold off until he can guarantee that we can see out.
Yeah, and is there a way for him to test this on a small, scale so we don't
I will
potentially
request
have
that
this
of him.
issue again?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Just
Yeah.
say, hey, here's what we're looking at.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he did state that this is what was discussed, which I was not part of that discussion, but from what I was told, that was what was discussed and that was what, the work that is being done. So we are getting what we were quoted.
Yeah, I mean, if we have to, adjust the cost, I'd like to know what that cost is.
Sure.
It wasn't very much to begin with, was it? It was,
3,500 maybe?
yeah, something like that.
I
Something
believe
really
so. I believe so.
small.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
appreciate
I will
it.
do that. Yeah. Last item for you is just something to be aware of. I need to replace, Highway Department has a salt bin that is covered with a canvas top. I'm getting priced to replace that. It's gonna be probably $9,000 to $10,000. If you have suggestions on maybe where you would like to pay for something like that, I will tell you my building maintenance, I need to be frugal, through the end of the year, just to make sure my building maintenance, I know we can always go back and
Request more.
appropriate more, but, it is a larger item, so if you guys have any suggestions on that.
We'll look into it and we'll decide
Okay. I will work on that, and I will get a hold of Mr. Etheridge, and I will get a hold of Service Master.
all right.
That's all I
Thank you.
got. Thank you.
Okay, thank you,
Before
Cory.
Cory goes, can I ask a question? We've got an invoice from Greenfield Parks Department for the flowers that they always do annually, and it's typically paid out of building maintenance. The charge is $2,907.50. So I didn't want Cory not to be here if you decided that that's where we wanted to pay it from, so that he'd know that.
If it's typically paid out of there, that's what we want to do.
And that's fine,
I
yeah.
didn't get a chance to talk to you about it, but it was in my folder
No,
today,
no,
so.
absolutely. All right. That's
Thank
all I
you.
got.
we need a motion
Motion
to
on that.
do that,
Yeah, I think so.
or is it
Motion.
just typical?
It's just a typical.
Okay.
step.
Okay.
I just
All
didn't
right.
want to do it without him knowing.
Okay. Gary Poole.
You're ready to go. I'm going to recommend that the low bids are accepted. Specifically, the Silk King single axle at $163,109.96. And for the distributor truck at $343,863, which I have here and marked for signature. So I recommend that you accept these bids.
I make a motion that we accept the bid from Selking International in the amount for dump truck in the amount of $163,159.96.
Second.
We have a bid, motion second on the floor to approve, accept bids from Steel King Trucks as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
I make a motion that we approve the distributor truck from Stoops Freightliner. And that is a unit price of $343,860.
Okay.
Second.
Janine, here you go. There's a motion and a second on the floor to, for approve and accept the bid from Stoops for a distributor tank truck in the amount of $343,860 as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. You want to just,
Make an announcement?
do we want to recess or something?
We can until we figure it out.
Yeah, go ahead. I apologize, everybody, but we need to stop the meeting because of video issues. We've got a
Motion
motion,
to recess?
motion to recess.
Second.
On the floor, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. We'll get you next.
Well, we hope not.
That's what everybody watches.
Did I break the camera?
RJL, okay. is not being uploaded to YouTube. So what they're going to do, they are going to upload it later. And that way the public can see it at that point in time. And I'd like to call back to order our meeting. And Mr. William Nelson. Can you say your name and spell your last name?
William Nelson, Nelson.
Okay. What can we do for you?
Looking to get a variance for a driveway.
Okay. We will, Mike? Mike is with the highway department. They have to look at it and he'll know whether you can do it or not.
I showed Gary Poole. GIS, the plot plan and the way it lays out, and he's not in favor. But he's into that. Off of the county road.
Okay. So what other solutions do you have? Because they didn't want another driveway cut.
Is there a reason why, though?
The highway department, and he's the engineer and the traffic studies, and he's recommendation.
For the proposed driveway, whenever I turn into like my personal driveway going into the home versus me turning into that driveway, I don't see the
It's an additional
difference.
driveway, someone to rear-ended or additional. It just,
Potentially
there's
needed.
more potential chance for an accident.
Gary,
Okay.
I think your input's needed here.
That's why he's applying for variance. Typically, we oppose any double. We have roads where they're lined up with a ton of two-lane driveways, and we're not a fan of that. In the world, probably not, but we are against two drive. We were for one drive every 400 feet.
We can't get anything, another drive within that.
But they have a right to petition, so.
Yeah, I was
What
just
is-
curious, like, so if you look at the picture, like, if I'm gonna turn into my driveway, obviously I'm not turning into both driveways at the same time. So what's the difference if I turn into that driveway or if I turn into the new driveway?
What's the distance between your driveway and the proposed driveway footage-wise, do you know?
Footage-wise would be about 80 feet.
Driveway on the neighboring house to the west that isn't,
We're not seeing it
you're
here.
not seeing in that picture, but it's one close because they are the corner lot. And we have to trim pine trees for people coming down 300 west coming south so they can see back line of sight. Had issues with
There doesn't seem to be any good.
I would go along with the recommendation of our highway engineer,
We'll have to do that.
traffic-wise.
Did you put that in the form of
Is that
a
a motion?
motion?
Do not, I'd make a motion that we deny the request based on the information from our county highway engineer about road safety in this area.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor and a second to deny the variance for another driveway for Mr. Nelson. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Sorry,
Thank you for your time.
no problem. Okay. Mr. Gibson. I might put these back for a minute.
Good morning.
Okay.
Good morning again.
Good morning.
I'm here for representing the hospital. You guys heard this through Drainage Board last month. It's for a vacation of an easement for their new platted lot. So we're just needing that signature on the plat that
We already
accepts
approved
that,
it last
and you guys
at the
approved it.
Drainage Board, so.
That's correct. I'll just come and get those all at once. The second item, again, you guys heard this morning for the Barrett Minor subdivision. Since that was approved for drainage for the dry wells, we're asking for the dedication of the right-of-way to be signed. So it's a 50-foot dedicated half right-of-way. The acreage is 0.695 acres on the north side of County Road 600 South.
600 south?
600 South, yes.
I make a motion that we approve the 50-foot, 1/2 right-of-way, compiling 0.695 acres north of 600 South.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor and a second to accept a 50-foot half right-of-way equaling 0.695 acres on 600 South for the Barrett Minor subdivision. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And
And the third one is the Borgman Minor subdivision located 9500 North Alford Road, 35-foot dedicated half right-of-way. Acreage is 0.984 acres.
0.98.
Yep.
That's for the Borgman.
I make a motion that we approve the 35-foot half setback for right-of-way with acreage of 0.984 for the Borgman property.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor to accept a 35-foot half right-of-way and equaling 0.98 acres from the Borgman Minor subdivision. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Miriam Rollins. Good morning. Slow down. We're good. We're good.
So good morning. I'm here to share
Morning.
an exciting opportunity for Hancock County to participate in the statewide community mental health bench project, which is connected to the 988 suicide and crisis line. I've placed a picture on the monitor of one of the benches. Our Hancock County Parks Board has made a favorable recommendation for this project at our last board meeting. And for those who are not familiar with the 988, it's a 3-digit national crisis line that provides immediate confidential support to anyone experiencing emotional distress, suicidal thoughts, or a mental health or substance use-related crisis. It's available 24/7 by phone, text, or an online chat, and it connects people directly with trained crisis counselors. This resource is critical in providing immediate help to those who may feel alone, and it has been proven to save lives by offering early intervention in connection to mental health support. So the purpose of this bench project is to create a visible, compassionate reminders throughout our community that help is available and that no one is struggling, that they have to face those challenges alone. Nationally, similar initiatives have shown that placing benches with the 988 messaging in public spaces serves as a quiet but powerful prompt to seek help and reduce the stigma around the mental health. These benches not only encourage reflection, but they also make mental health resources accessible to our residents in an approachable way. The need in our county is immediate. Last year, we tragically lost 12 residents to suicide. And in just the past 2 weeks, we've already experienced 3 more losses. These numbers are sobering and underscore the importance of a proactive measure to support mental health and crisis awareness before situations escalate. By placing these benches in a strategic and high visibility locations throughout the county, we can provide meaningful, everyday reminders that our community cares and that support is available. The suggested locations for these benches include, but are not limited to, areas along the Pennsy Trail, the new multi-use trail connection at the pedestrian entrance of 9-Star Park, several spots within 9-Star Park, the new Heritage Trail that's going in Shirley, and a bench possibly in front of the annex along the Riley Trail, right outside at the south entrance that would balance the facade of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library bench. I've also communicated with our mental health partners for additional suggestions, and their recommendation are 2 benches on the south side of our courthouse. Additional potential locations could include a bench at the jail, and then some at the fairgrounds, and any other county-owned properties as appropriated and approved by you, the commissioners. And by placing these benches in these varied locations, we can ensure that that message of support is visible and widespread throughout our community. The benches arrive fully assembled, so we don't have to put them together. And we will coordinate pickup and installation with the assistance of the Highway Department and Cory Taylor, who can help with the ongoing maintenance and identify the best placement locations to keep the surrounding area landscaped and clear. Additionally, we could establish a volunteer committee, potentially partnering with the Pennsy Trails and other local organizations to help care for the benches as they weather and ensuring that they remain welcoming and visible for years to come. The application for the project requires a minimum of 10 benches and a maximum of 25 with a description of all the locations that we've picked. And based on that requirement, I'm requesting approval to purchase a minimum of 10 benches, but the good news is they're only $75 a piece. Not to exceed 1,000 is what I'm asking for, just in case we pick more, we find that we've got more than 10 locations that we want to place them. I would ask the board's guidance on the appropriate funding source for this project within the county's budget. And for the record, the payment for the benches needs to be made out to the Pendleton Correction Facility. They are the ones who make them for us. And brought in the time of pickup, so I would need a money order for that.
So how are they anchored to the ground?
They're very heavy, and I could work with maintenance to find out how we can.
I didn't know if they had something that could attach to the bottom of them, be buried, whatever it is. 'Cause, I mean,
The
I
photo
think
that
we'd
you're
have a hard
looking at.
time, the safety issues, so.
Sure. The photo you're looking at is actually over by the sister cities of Cocuta's area off the Pennsy Trail here in the city. So I can get with the Greenfield Parks and, superintendent and find out how they have that anchored.
Is
if
this
that would be
treated
helpful.
lumber, Miriam?
It is treated. We would probably want to come in every couple of years and put some sort of a weather, coating on it.
How are the QR codes and the writing and logos, how are those?
I believe that those are all completed at the Community Corrections Facility. I can have more information about the
I mean,
QR
Are they
codes.
painted on? Are they branded in?
I think they might be branded, but that I'm not 100% sure of. I'm happy to find out.
Treated or untreated, I'm not sure that they'd be everlasting if we just set them down on the ground, on wet soil.
It looks like they're set on the ground there.
It looks like
so,
it's got buried down. Looks like something has been buried under the ground there to hold them steady.
I can get with Ellen Cooker or Josh Gentry at the City of Greenfield and find out how they installed those, and we can follow that. It's a great program for the Pendleton Correctional Facility convicts that are there to continue their work before they exit back into the population. So it's a win-win for a lot of people.
Maybe it'd be worth a concrete foundation so it could be anchored to the ground for,
Yeah.
that's expensive per inch in concrete.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd like to have it all together. That way
Okay.
we can
Okay.
take it and
750 to 1,000, right?
But I threw in the 1,000 just in case they wanted a couple extra benches because there's maybe a couple of locations that weren't thought of. And the locations are up to your discretion, so, but the minimum is 10.
We'd really like to know the locations ahead of time.
Yes.
And mounting and, because I mean, it could change the price of this. So the benches, sure, they're only going to cost you $750 and you're wanting 1,000 just in case we wanted something. But I'd rather know where these were going to go and how they're mounted and all that. That way we'd get the final cost on that. So,
I think we're all in approval of it.
Yeah.
Just if you can go back and find out how they mount these things in the ground. I see something that probably involves a couple bags of Saccrete and some kind of connector to be drilled in that because those benches have legs and sometimes those benches will walk away on those legs.
Yeah.
Right?
Right, to get a total amount before we go ahead and say, hey, let's get this. So if we do need to move above the not to exceed, it may be a little bit more than $1,000.
Well, and if we've found additional locations, we could order more as well. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention. This grant program is available. Many people will benefit from it. So thank you for considering the initiative, and I'll get that information together for you.
Okay. All right. You got on your trees also.
The trees, we are
Yes.
going to strike the trees because they've started to leaf and they've started to bud. And we just
Too
don't,
late.
we don't have the capacity at this point to move them from that location and plant them.
Well, okay, because I was at the 250 meeting last week, I think it was, and they're interested in some trees, but, and they would actually pay for the moving and all that kind of stuff. It seemed like that we were looking for a place to put them. So I'd say,
Yeah, my idea was to put them along the west line of Nine Star Park up in the elevated area by the other tree line. However, it's a large excavation project.
Yeah.
And even if Walmart were to deliver them with the construction going on with our highway, We just don't have the capacity of equipment right now. It's going to be used for our roads, so
Okay, you let them know.
I've let them know.
Thank you.
You betcha. Thank you
I
very
need
much.
a recess
Motion
motion.
to recess.
Motion, second.
I have a motion on the floor to recess. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Give us a couple of minutes. We'll have the solid waste board up next. Hello, Dede.
Hello, how are you?
Wonderful, you?
Doing good.
So, how are you? Hello, Mr. Mayor. Good. You all be glad to know that, everything works out.
our Hancock County Solid Waste Management Board meeting for today, April 7th. First item on our agenda is a review of the minutes from March 3rd, 2026.
Go ahead.
I move that we accept the minutes from the March 3rd, 2026 Hancock County Solid Waste Management Board meeting.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes from the March 3rd meeting as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Next up is the director's report. We don't have any invoices, correct?
Yeah, we do on the
back
of your
Okay.
packet.
You want to go ahead and discuss the invoices?
Yeah, so we have the contract for March, logo apparel under supplies. I did fill up the fuel tank on my truck. And then we had the Verizon bill for February. I purchased some flower pot project supplies through Amazon for education materials for Earth Day classrooms to do. And then under Toxaway, I bought some more supplies for our collection event from Amazon. I bought some signs from Vistaprint. And then I signed up for the MS4 annual conference meeting in May. And then a couple things under the event fund that I didn't get updated. The Knauf insulation glass number 6 recycling, we did get the check for that, so that has been received. So over to the right, the current total of the event fund for this year is $30,210.40. So I'll get that updated for next month, but just.
Make a motion to accept the pay invoices.
Second.
So motion and a second on the floor to pay the invoices as presented. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes.
Okay, that second little packet that I gave you is my hours for January, February, and March. And I decided this morning that I probably need to translate the total minutes to hours, just so it's easier to comprehend what that means. So next time I give this packet out, I will make sure that's on there. But this is just, you had asked for kind of a timeline of how I spend my days. So this is a breakdown of the different things that I do. I hope this is acceptable or what you're wanting for that listing of what I do. So it's just general categories. If you need more information on any particular category, I can give that to you. At the top right corner of that spreadsheet, I had some hours that I had worked over from December, and so I carried that forward into this year. So up there, the 780 minutes was what was carried over from last year. And that will appear on every month because I never seem to balance out at the end of the month. I always have additional time that's left over from the prior month, but I am trying to use those minutes up. I'm probably going to accrue a lot this month because I have a really busy month. But that's my hours for the first 3 months of the year.
Okay.
Questions on that or comments or anything you want me to do differently on that?
Just continue to keep track of those minutes.
Okay.
Looks good.
All right, thanks.
It might help to discuss that for the, under the old business, under the contract update is why we're kind of doing that.
Okay. So then the next item on the agenda is Libby Wyatt's appointment to this board was approved by the commissioners, I believe. So I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. So welcome back. Under old business, the Hancock County Community Foundation grant, that is the grant for the park bins. We actually have a meeting actually this afternoon with the Community Foundation as part of that grant process. They either want a site visit or an interview. We are doing the interview, and Julie Patterson with the Greenfield Parks Department is going to be accompanying me on that interview with them. So I think everything will go great. We have a PowerPoint presentation laid out. I have a picture of the bins and the signage that's going to appear on the bins. And what we're we're proposing to do, if we get the grant, is it'll have a big Greenfield Parks Department logo at the top of the sign, and then we put, if we get the funding, we'd put the Community Foundation logo in smaller print underneath that, and then also the Recycle Hancock County logo on there as well, to show that we're all partners on that project. So that'll be this afternoon. I'm expecting it to go pretty well. So school program update. I have 102 programs scheduled as of right now. So I've got a very busy month and a half. And then our flower pot projects, I've got half of those delivered to the schools. The other half I'm hoping to distribute this week. This week we have 120 classes that are going to be participating in that program, which encompasses 2,634 students. So we're reaching a lot of kids with our Earth Day flower pot projects. I had a meeting last week with Republic Services, and this is in regards to collecting hazardous waste at the Republic Services transfer station. They have talked to upper management. They are in favor of proceeding with this project. We're not sure, we're still working on the details. They are working on their side to figure out how they want it to be structured, you know, what their, if they need a hazardous waste storage unit to be placed on site, whether they can do it during the weekday or if it has to be on a weekend. They're still working out all those details, trying to figure out exactly what they need on their side, but they are ready to move forward with that. So I wanted to get your blessing to proceed with those conversations. I think this is going to be a win-win for both of our organizations. You know, I've been talking to Brian Breeze, the county insurance agent, and he is very much in favor of us going to this type of a setup rather than having our collection events off-site on non-county owned property. We do have our vendors that supply a certificate of insurance naming the Hancock County government as an additional insured, but we wouldn't have to do that anymore. It would all, you know, be under Republic Services, so that's, you know, good there. So I'm really excited about this. This is going to be an added convenience for Hancock County residents because they will have more than just 2 times to properly dispose of hazardous waste. So I feel like by having more opportunities for hazardous waste disposal, we'll hopefully not get as much or not have any residents that are disposing of their hazardous waste improperly, throwing it in the trash, throwing it on the ground, who knows what they're doing with it. But I'm hoping this will be a great benefit to our community. So I wanted to get your blessing on proceeding.
Anyone in opposition to Dede continuing her discussions with Republic?
Nope.
Good idea.
Right. And they are willing to extend beyond just hazardous waste. So once we get this up and going, they also take tires. They might even be interested in electronics. So I think this is just going to keep growing. So I think this is going to be great. So thank you for your blessing on that. Our spring collection event is coming up on April 25th. I did pass down the postcards for that. We have all of our vendors lined up. We have the park chapels all lined up. We are going to set up all of our cones, which we're going to have a lot of cones, but we're going to set those up on Friday, the day before, and McCordsville town is going to come help me. They're going to use their crew, their stormwater crew, to help me place all those cones, and they're going to provide additional cones for that. So I feel like it's going to work out really well. We're going to have the 2 police officers at each entrance and exit. That'll help with traffic flow. We've got the bank lined up, Greenfield Banking Company lined up to pay for the shredding. So I feel like we're in really good shape. Advertising has gone out. We are also going to place an ad in the Great Deals advertising magazine, and they are providing tickets to Holiday World. So if we collect, if the residents bring that ad in with their name and phone number at the bottom, then they get a chance to win tickets to Holiday World. So that's an incentive for us to track that advertising to make sure that it's working. So we're good to go there. One other thing I wanted to mention before we get to the director contract. I'm still in the running for the IDEM tire grant. I got an email that said we are still a potential awardee, but they needed some additional documents to further us through the process. So we're still in the runnings for that. I don't think it's definite yet that we are awarded it, but we are still in the running, so that's good. Now onto the director contract update. I had a conversation with Scott Benke regarding that, and we are both under the recommendation that this position really needs to be a county position rather than doing an independent contract. It just would resolve a lot of issues, and we feel like it would be better for both parties if we were to pursue that avenue rather than doing an independent contract agreement.
That's accurate, and we had a very worthwhile conversation about that yesterday, and so we do recommend jointly to this board that her status change employee of the county. So I appreciate the fact we were able to resolve that.
Okay. We will address that going forward.
Brian, I was going to say that the commissioners would have to come together and create the position, and then we also have to discuss what that pay looks like, because then you'd receive some benefits from the county. Have to take that in consideration if we didn't. But we would forward up a favorable recommendation to the council, at least for tomorrow, to say, and Scott, we would, both speak to it as well, that it's the best way to go. In that time between May 4th, structure that we can offer them so that on their 6th meeting, they can get a hold of it and start to plan it and put it in the budget.
But until then, we will move forward as we are.
Or we'll continue, I'll ask for a motion for a favorable recommendation to consider Dede to be an employee of the county to continue to take it to the council.
I would make a motion that we continue as we are while we make a favorable recommendation to the county council to actually create a position for that and go forward with discussions on pay and benefits.
Second. It's been moved and seconded, or I have a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Okay, but since I am still an independent contractor for another month, I am going to go ahead and try to switch all my education programs that pertain to food or that where I serve food. I'm going to try to have them switch over to another program so I don't have to offer food to those students. And then for the collection event, since I don't have insurance, I will look into getting possibly a one-day policy to cover me for that collection event. So I feel like I can deal with that for.
Right.
I thought I was reading here that said that since you're working for the county, you would be covered under our insurance.
As an
Once you're an employee.
Well, I won't be before our collection event.
Right,
That's
in the
the
interim, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I think I am partially covered under the county, but as far as my business, it's not, I don't think. So I feel like an additional insurance policy for that day would be in my best interest.
and I know Brian's not here today, Breeze, but I would follow up with him to get some more input on that.
Okay. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Under new business, the only thing I have there's a Hancock County Chamber of Commerce luncheon today, and I will have a showcase booth at that event, and I can talk about our upcoming collection event at that meeting. So, and that's all I have. Oh, and please note, our next meeting is on Monday, May 4th, and not on Tuesday.
Okay, thank you.
One thing, just to add to new business, I know I noticed this at our last meeting. We've had the benefit of Scott just at these meetings. Was going to ask if anybody in the group would want to entertain the submission of a request for proposal for legal counsel for this group. We've got a pretty diverse group of folks here from different, from city government,
County.
county government, people in the community, that it might be to our advantage to look for that. We already do it with our water and sewer board. We do it with our drainage board. Is that something any of the board members would like to consider?
Well, I'd go for it. I mean, we kind of run just on our own here, so I mean, we've had Scott sitting here, but at the same time, I mean, we might want to entertain some legal representation.
Could I get a motion made for the request to do that?
I make a motion that we move forward and establish attorneys for solid waste management board.
Second.
So there's a motion and second on the floor to put out an RFP for a solid waste management board attorney with additional scope put in that as to see. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes. So we can start that process to for legal counsel. We'll also figure out of your budget how we can accomplish that as well.
Okay.
And Dede, I suggest when you come to talk to the council about funding you as a county employee, bring that list and let them see again all the things you do. I don't think a lot of people still understand what you do. And I've been involved with it for, 14, 15 years, something like that. And it's an essential service that we have.
Okay, I can do that.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I have a comment. I just want to make a note and comment and a question. This board and Dede yourself, you work so hard at keeping our community clean and nice and all that. On March 25th, I was coming home from New Palestine. I went down 52 to the State Road 9 back to Greenfield. I followed a waste management semi. And I mean, it was amazing the amount of trash and bags and things that were coming out of that. And not only that, I had to drive 70 miles an hour to catch the guy driving the semi before he got to the roundabout and headed on east. And, going through the little areas where it says slow down to 45, but I was kind of appalled and aggravated. I started to call down there myself and make a comment, but I felt it may be on deaf ears. I don't know if you know anyone, but I noticed that between New Pal on 52 and between the roundabout on 52 and 9, all the way to Greenfield, there's all this trash. And it has to be coming from these trucks, or a lot of it, I would assume. I don't know if there's anything we can do or anything you can pass on to them that, it's appalling.
We were having trouble at 200 because we did the same thing. And I mean, Bill stepped up and called down there and they actually come out and cleaned up and stuff like that.
That was best way.
Yeah, okay, it's best way, but I mean, I would think that those things are supposed to be covered.
It was covered, but there was a gap that high and the thing was just bouncing and stuff was blowing out. I mean, it was a large amount of things. I mean, one of them was a great big bag. I thought it was going to cover my windshield. I thought, I'm going to hit a pole or something, but it was amazing.
You have a hard time getting a live person with waste management. So I would recommend just calling Chris Ross directly.
Yeah.
If there is anything we could potentially do that involves Indiana Department of Environment, because it seems that we've asked these people to come out and pick up trash. They don't have a problem the first time, but after that, you get crickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not only visually hard for us to take a look at, but all these farmers are getting ready to get into the field. They haven't already, and they got to spend a day or two picking up trash before they can.
It just makes our community look terrible. I noticed it on 600 West too out there. All the trash out in the fields are blowing, and it's just, I don't know. I don't know if that's your purview, or I just wanted to make a comment and see how we should possibly address it. Maybe I should have went ahead and called that day.
Yeah, no, you would have had a hard time getting a hold of the right person.
That's what I figured, yeah.
Like said, it's impossible to find somebody unless you know somebody that's already working there. And since I was working there, I still have coworkers that are still there that I can contact. But yeah, it's a huge problem. I know Morristown and New Pal both have had issues with them and the trash. And Morristown even went to the extreme where they were putting their police officers on duty on 52, and they would watch the trucks drive by, and anytime they lost a piece of trash, they were writing him a ticket. And that worked great, you know, for, I don't know, the month or 2 months that they did it. But yeah, now we're right back to where we were before. But yeah, I've run into the same thing. I was actually on the interstate coming back from a program just last week, and a huge wrapper from a water bottle, case of water bottles, flew off the truck and, you know, went right underneath me. And I actually I drug it all the way back to my office and was able to throw it in the trash. But yeah, it's a huge problem. And I had hoped to do a cleanup event this spring, but with everything else going on, I decided I would wait another year and maybe tackle that next spring. But Boone County has a really great spring cleanup event that they get their residents involved in. They had done it for just Lebanon, but now they're expanding to the entire county because it was so successful. And they get like 500-600 volunteers that help clean up the whole community. So I'm hoping to do that next year, try to get something like that going for our community. But yeah, it's a huge problem. There's, you know, I drive down 9 all the time and it's always a mess. You know, I drive down 52 all the time and yeah, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
It's always a mess.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, and then on top of that, he was going like 70 mile an hour. I think it's 50 or 55, the speed limit there. I was flying. I thought, I'm going to get a ticket trying to catch this guy because I was so mad. I wanted to be sure who it was first. I wanted to
Right.
identify the truck before I started pointing fingers.
Yeah.
So,
To my knowledge, the only big landfill, the bigger one that they don't use anymore is Putnamville, so they direct a lot of their trash. It's continued to get trash increase because everybody's coming through here to get rid of their trash.
I would
Right.
think that the Indiana Board of Environmental would be able to do something about that.
I'll reach out to them and see what they
How
have
long
to
you
say
been
about it.
involved with government?
It never hurts to try.
Yep.
Okay, any additional question? And great question, Mayor. I mean, because I think that's been on everybody's mind too. You start to forget about it because you see it all the time, but it'd be nice to have a clean place and people responsive to that. Seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We adjourn this meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you need me, I can give you a consulting contract.
You can be the fourth.
Order. Kayla Brooks.
You've got a ordinance number.
Just following up on Dede's comments, if you see any sites where trash is blowing from a particular property, please contact our office, and Dennis can write them a letter telling them to clean up their trash if it is blowing around like that, so.
Okay.
All right, so today I had 2 items to bring to the commissioners. Joe Hollis rezone from ag to rural residential was the first one, and Mr. Hollis has been very patient here this morning. All right, so the ordinance, a rough draft of it was included in your packet, and I did receive confirmation from our attorney and plan commission president that it was correct this morning. Property in Jackson Township at the intersection of, near the intersection of Grandison Road and US 40. I believe my presentation was also included in the packet if you wanted to have time to review it. This would rezone approximately 10 acres from agriculture to rural res with the intent that Mr. Hollis would like to create a major subdivision on his property for his children. Enough splits have already occurred out of that piece that it cannot be done as a minor subdivision at this point. This is just at the top of the hill before you go down into the Charlottesville area. The Plan Commission provided a favorable recommendation with 2 conditions. First, subject to NDOT approval, the driveways will be combined as shown on the proposed site plan, which would create just 1 entrance point onto US 40, which lines up with an existing median crossing. And second, that the land will be subdivided in substantial conformance with the proposed site plan, which laid it out into 3 good-sized house lots. If you have any, in the Plan Commission give a favorable recommendation with 6 ayes and 0 nays. 6 was just the number in attendance that day of the 9. If you have any questions for Mr. Hollis, I'd happily turn it over to him.
I'm trying to find it.
Did you say you sent it? Because the last thing I have from you was on the 24th.
Should have been in your packet.
Is it in my packet?
It's in the packet.
It's attached to the ordinance. It's all together.
Here, Gary.
I thought I saw an ordinance somewhere. Okay, okay.
And I have a clean copy as well in case you
Have a
need
copy
it.
here for signature.
Yeah, got it.
What is that ordinance number?
Looking for the ordinance number.
Oh, 2026-4A.
This is the latest and greatest.
Got it.
Oh, this is the latest and greatest for signature?
This is it here.
Okay,
It should be all the same.
they are.
Had some highlights on it. She said it should be.
So which one do you want us to use? The one
One
in our,
that she just gave us.
All right.
very good. I make a motion that we approve ordinance number 2026-4A, which was going to amend the zoning map for subject area from agricultural to residential RR.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor to approve ordinance number 2026-4A, amending the Hancock County zoning ordinance from 2007-1B, amending Title 15, Chapter 156, zoning of the Hancock County Code of Ordinances, from moving land from agricultural to rural residential. Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
There you go.
Thank you. All right. The next item I have on my agenda today is a contract for the UDO Light with HWC Engineering, which would just be combining together the basically our existing subdivision control ordinance and zoning ordinance into a unified development format or structure. So Rhonda had a chance to revise the contract, any issues she had with it. And it is, I just sent it this morning to Sarah, the most up-to-date version, and I've got a copy printed here as well. Essentially the same as what I submitted last week, except with the attorney markups. That's pretty much it. Scott, I know you were on vacation, but you had the chance to look over it briefly.
Well, I did. And then I think I also looked at what Rhonda had made her changes, and so I sent her an email.
Perfect.
So I think we're all in agreement.
Good, good.
So what is that?
I don't have it in the packet, so
Yeah.
I'm going to have to have it, Kayla.
Would you like me to tell you anything in particular out of it, or just hand you the?
Well,
The planning board was good with
Yes.
the contract.
we just have to find somewhere to pay for it out of.
The total, 29,000, wasn't it?
So
Did you have any in your budget to help pay, or you have nothing in your budget?
So this is. Can we say to be determined? That way we can figure out where it can come from.
Council could.
Potentially
maybe
commissioner
food.
contractual,
Yeah.
food and beverage, whatever, yes.
So we will check Commissioner contractual.
Okay.
And we'll be going forward to it. If we have to go to council, we can do that and get it out of food and beverage or whatever, so.
Okay, just
How
let me-
soon do you need it?
The sooner the better, because we can get it up and running and hopefully get this finished up by the end of 2026 is the goal.
Okay,
So we could ask for that tomorrow at the council meeting.
council meeting?
Tomorrow, budget or council?
It's
It's just a
council.
normal council.
So are you going to come and ask for that?
I'll come and ask for it. Let me make sure my calendar.
I make a motion that we approve the HWC engineering contract agreement for
not, I'll be
professional
there.
services
Okay,
in a total number not to exceed. Where did that go? On. Not to exceed $39,825,
Second.
with the understanding that we will present at council on April 8th to find a payment source.
Yeah.
we have a motion and a second on the floor to approve a contract with HWC Engineering to look at our UDO and ordinance to try and combine those and coming up with something that we can use. The cost would be $39,825. And is there any other comments? Then I would ask for everybody to approve by saying yay.
Aye.
Aye. So, motion carries.
Thank you. Appreciate
So
it.
do you need this one back?
No, you can keep it.
Okay,
You need
but
to
we'll
sign
figure it
that?
out. Do I need to sign it?
That would be nice, yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll put it in here.
Okay.
And then I'll have to send that one back to Cory Whitesall to get his signature as well.
Okay.
There it is. All right. There you be. Where'd you go? There you go. Need a motion to approve claims and payroll?
I make a motion, we approve claims and payroll.
Second.
Motion on the floor and second to approve claims and payroll. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Auditor business.
We have a couple of items. First being the weights and measures. They just need you to sign off on this so that they can get their vehicle or their trailer plated.
We've already approved it. We just got
It's
to,
all been approved. This is
Okay.
just the paperwork. And then while he's doing that, we had a situation with CERTA that I believe Sarah sent an email out, and I didn't know if you wanted to discuss that.
Sure. I got a call from the auditor's office about a check that the Central Indiana Regional Transportation Authority wanted us to endorse and sign. 15,000, I think, is what it was. And I'm not sure if we have in the past, but if we have, we've never had anybody come out and speak to why they need what they need. I followed up with Gary Poole and got his thoughts, and he said CERTA itself really hasn't been beneficial to Hancock County. And in my opinion, what we ought to do is not pay this unless they want to come out and make a presentation to the commissioners as to what they're doing, what their goal is, and how we can benefit you. And I asked Sarah if she would send off that message to them. No response as of yet, to my knowledge. But until then, we don't pay this $15,000 request. We're not obligated to by any kind of contract. It's just an ask, but we would like them, if they are expecting some monies, to come out and share why they should get this money.
We're doing it with everybody else. They need to do the same.
Right.
So,
Right.
okay.
And then we had some more paperwork submitted to us from the prosecutor's office. And one is this, it's the agreement, the service agreement. And then there's another quote. So I'm going to go ahead and let Sarah explain this because I wasn't involved in this.
Okay, so it's a little confusing. So the Titan interview room bundle that you guys approved last meeting for the prosecutor's office, this is the client service agreement that goes with that bundle.
So it just needs a signature then?
Yes. I'm not sure if Scott has seen it. Okay.
I have not.
So did they ever get an approval out of council to actually fund it?
This is
We
different.
haven't been there yet. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, this is something different than that
Study?
study. This is for the equipment.
Yeah, the electronic equipment.
IT.
Okay, yeah. So
So
I'd
if you
let
want to
Scott
hold
look
off
at
and
it
let Scott look at it,
and just make a motion for me to sign it once he's approved it.
Yeah, pending legal approval.
Yeah.
Make a motion, we approve the utility client service agreement. Level, let's see here, depends on the equipment, software, and services of the system known as Titan. And we make a motion that we approve it pending legal review, and then with the option for President McDaniel to sign.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor to approve the utility electronic and user app, Helios. And I think totaling $147,080 with yearly payments. It was Titan?
Titan.
Titan. I got a different one in my hand, so, with Titan and with the option of Commissioner President Gary McDaniel signing it once we've had legal review. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
that's why it's confusing, because there's another quote with Helios from
Okay, that's the one I had in
Utility.
my hand.
That's what you had in your hand for a different bundle.
This is the one that they come out and talked about all the updates to the electronics and cameras and all that kind of stuff?
I believe that was the first quote.
That was the first one.
Oh, so we got another one now.
It's a separate one.
Have that
Significantly
in our
more.
packet?
Yes. I highlighted it with the Helios to try to keep it Now, Janine, you don't have it in your
Okay.
signature
Alright.
packet because it's just a quote, so it doesn't
Okay.
need a signature.
Okay.
But I'm guessing they just want you to review it to see if it's an option.
I think I would like to hear from them about it.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm not just gonna sign something.
Right.
So,
I'll get them on the next agenda. Would
all
that be
right.
okay?
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you. Is that it? Auditor?
Yeah, we already did the flowers. Is there anything else that you can think of, Sarah?
I think we're
I think we're good.
Surveyor?
set for the surveyor.
Okay, yeah, surveyor agreement, coroner's agreement.
Section corner agreement, I believe, was approved at the last meeting. There was some issues with the wording on the document from the document where it had stated me as the person on it instead of the Hancock County Commissioners. So I think you just need to sign that one now that it is for where it's at. The second part is I'm here to make a board appointment for the Parks and Recreation Board for Terri Gotschalk, 4-year appointment. I'm one of the elected officials who are able to do that, so I'm making it in a public meeting. So I don't think you have an approval or anything to do that. I think I'm just here to make an announcement that.
Public announcement.
A public announcement that I am nominating Terri Gotschalk as a member of the Hancock County Parks Board for a 4-year term.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When's her term end then? Will it have
4
begun
years.
at the beginning of this year or right now?
Yes, it's there at the beginning of this, yes, it's a 4-year term. So I think it was from January through, so it's, at the last meeting, they did another one. Yes,
Okay.
yes. So it starts January this year and goes through, yep. Yep. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have, do I have,
Nope, that's for structure.
okay, all right. There we go. Do I have any comment from public? You've waited very patiently back here.
Appreciate the coffee break. Hello, my name is Karen Woodall, and I appreciate the time today. I've learned a lot of information. I'm with JES and Sons Two-Way. Don't get us confused, JES Two-Way and Sons. We have been out in your county. I've been introducing myself, speaking to several of your departments, just letting you know what all we offer. We offer public safety handheld radios to businesses, private sectors, things like that. This is Rose, the operations manager.
Just to expand on that, yeah, not associated with the prior JES. We were actually glad that we were here to clear that up in case you see our name around. But yeah, like she said, we've just been talking to some of the departments in the community, private sectors, public sectors, and kind of just seeing if there's any need. It sounds like there potentially is. So I just kind of wanted to introduce ourselves because you will be hearing from us more, I expect, in the next couple weeks and months. And hopefully we can build a connection together and just kind of help you guys out with whatever you need. Like she said, it's radios, dispatch systems, sirens, BDAs, in-building Wi-Fi, everything like that is what we do. So if you're okay with it, Karen does have a card to pass out to you just so that you have it
That's
for
fine.
the records. We're based out of Indianapolis, so we're actually only about 45 minutes away from you, which is a huge benefit to us because we can get here quick if anything ever goes down. As we know, public safety has to be fixed if it's down. So even if it's not originally our equipment, we are happy to take a look at stuff if you ever need it.
All right.
Do you guys have any questions for us now?
No?
No?
Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No one else? Only one thing left.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion second on the floor to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Adjourned.